A quick update on what I'm working on for my spring 2020 collection. I am currently looking at sourcing this yarn, this really stretchy yarn, here in the United States. This yarn was from Shanghai, and the other stretchy yarn that I used on my previous collections is also from Shanghai and is not readily available here in the States, which means that the shipping charges would be really, really high if I tried to ship what I've used before from the yarn mill that I used before. It would be really expensive to ship it here. So I'm now looking for a new yarn supplier that's here in the United States that makes this kind of really, really high stretch Lycra elastic yarn. I'm in contact with a few yarn mills, and I'm hoping that I'll find out soon whether one of them can provide something really similar like that. Hopefully that comes soon, because I'd like to keep doing swatch development. I kind of stopped swatch development at the moment because I really like these swatches that I did before with the bamboo viscose and the plating the elastic in it to create a drapey fabric and a structured fabric. I like these a lot. I like this direction. I'm kind of holding off and waiting to see if I can find a yarn that is from the States and is easily readily available in really small quantities with stock service here in the States. Today I would also like to start sketching some more. I sketched a few looks that I showed you guys in previous weeks, and again I want to sketch inspired by these swatches, the bamboo viscose and the elastic plated in for structure and for drape. I was thinking about being inspired by armor, like the metal armor. I like that concept for this structured fabric. Could look really nice. I think we could create some really interesting shapes with the structure. So I wanted to just sketch one page of like 5 looks right now to play with that concept of that structured knit fabric inspired by metal armor. I pulled up some inspiration images of armor. I'm just gonna do some sketching now and we're gonna see what comes of it. I'm not really sure if anything interesting is gonna come of it, but that's just how it is, really. I feel like the joints have kind of these large, like the shoulders have these really large, almost like football player coverings on them. The legs have these really cool things too. I'm thinking more straight lines though, because armor tends to be kind of rounded. Sometimes rounded, sometimes straight lines, but let's do like the shoulders. If we did something kind of structured, came off the shoulder. I don't even really know how to draw this kind of structure when you have these interesting shapes, but let's see what we can do. And yes, I do use a croquis sometimes. It's just easier. I'm not a great strong sketcher, like free sketcher. It's something I do want to work on. It's just not my strong point. When I really just want to focus on styles and shapes and getting concepts down, I prefer to just use a croquis so that the shape and the proportions of each look that I sketch stays really, really consistent, and I can really just focus on the details of what I'm sketching and not think too much about, well, are my shapes correct? Are my proportions correct on the body? It's really hard. So I'm thinking these really light lines would be short rowing. So it's hard to kind of show that. So maybe like this, I'll show like the details of the decreasing and increasing knit stitches that you kind of see when you do short rowing. This is really rough. This is kind of the normal dart short rowing here, but that could look nice. And a little bit of like a wider shape that goes out from the hips. So fa, fa, and do more like straight lines. It's kind of interesting. All right, that's kind of looking like armor-esque with the straighter lines and the structure involved. Let's see if we can do shorts. I feel like they sometimes have these knee things, structure around the knee, kind of like waist darts, but at the knee. That could be interesting. So this would be very straight, straight, straight. Let's make these pants. Let's make these kind of like structured pants. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I like these shoulders. I think I'm gonna actually I'm keeping the necklines very consistent just because I'm not really interested in playing with necklines in this collection. I'm just doing a normal sort of crew neck, maybe slightly lower, but extended crew neck, that's about it. Let's play with slightly higher elevated shoulders, almost looking like shoulder pads. And same thing, so we maybe have short rowing going across the shoulder line. Maybe still structured sleeves, but structured sleeves that kind of go down. And instead of doing this direction, we could maybe do princess. We could do like this, like princess seams that create structure and shape. I'm doing my short rowing stitches in the wrong direction, right? So this goes out, so these are out, up, expand, and then these are gonna be this way. So these are kind of like the short rowing. I'm hoping will kind of create these folded, they're kind of like folded lines that will appear in the fabric and will shape the fabric to face different directions. Off a little bit, off the shoulder. Even here, it could be interesting to add some short rowing here. Is it short rowing or is it more just like, the sleeves, it might not be short rowing because you're not doing a lot of shaping. It's more bending, a bending of the fabric. So we'll see what that might be. I'm not sure. That might be one row of reverse jersey to get that bend. We'll see how that turns out. And let's do a crop top here instead. Everybody knows I love crop tops. And if you don't, now you know. Crop tops are great for me. I'm really short, so crop tops just work better for me. Same thing here. We can do some interesting short rowing on the side seam, short rowing at the normal, short rowing at the normal dart placement here. I'm really liking the concept of the armor that kind of goes with this concept that armor is a second skin. So I'm really liking that concept. So I think it's really cool to have all these shapes happening in a garment like this, where you have the maybe going out, is going back in towards the waist. And if you could have, I'm kind of thinking of the center because you have that valley between your boobs, that could also be a really cool shape to somehow structure this. So this would be inward. If these are going in out this way, this is going to go inwards here, probably outward here, kind of the opposite of the darts, to create these structured, basically mounds where your boobs are just really following the shape of the body, and it sits on top of the body. It's not skin tight, not bodycon, but it's this really nice shape. And again, we do this kind of like, well, here I don't feel like we need, I feel like we don't need it here. You're just there, straight across to that one, and then up. I don't know if I can get this sharp of shapes, probably not in it, but it would be kind of cool. And then for the bottom, maybe we could do like a flare skirt, but a skirt that again has these maybe 1, 2, 3. And these could definitely have shaping, short rowing, because we're going from a flare. And then if we could get the bottom hem to be really, and then up, really straight, sort of straight lines, could be interesting. I like that. Oh, I didn't do sleeves. I always like sleeves. I'm not a big fan of sleeveless. Maybe I should, maybe, okay. I'm gonna be open to it. I'm gonna leave that one sleeveless just to keep it in mind because this is a spring collection. Even though I don't like sleeveless, doesn't mean that everybody doesn't like sleeveless, and in the summer it can be a lot more comfortable to wear. Okay, last one for today. Let's make it a good one. I really like this middle one as far as like all the shaping that's happening. That's really nice. Even here, this will probably be shaping as well, like on the side seams. I love like all the contouring that's happening, so maybe we do one again that's kind of like that. Let's do like extreme contouring in the garment. I really like that. But let's do sleeves this time. So again, sleeves that have also that kind of fold in them. Okay, so I finished sketching my armor inspired looks. Here they are. I think they look pretty good. They're probably hard to see. I'll put a picture up because the lighting doesn't work with this. I like the concept of being inspired by armor. I like that I'm using this structured fabric. Could be really nice if I could create contours and manipulations within it to shape the garments around the body in a flattering way. Obviously, stretchy fabric can be really nice for like bodycon garments like dresses and skirts, but I know from previous experience some of my past collections had bodycon skirts and dresses in them, and they didn't always go over super well. Some people loved them and they were pretty popular, but I think a lot of women, I feel like a small range in age of the women that wear bodycon dresses like out during the day. So doing something that's sort of bodycon, but it more sits on the surface of your body and kind of skims over your body rather than being glued to your body, I feel like that's going to go over better with a bigger group of women than straight up bodycon glued to you. So this armor idea I really, really like because you can still get a really flattering shape, but it can be really comfortable because it's off of your skin. It's not completely stuck to you. Especially in summer, you don't really want clothes that are glued to you, so you're gonna sweat right through them. So having something that breathes and where there's a little bit of air can get between your skin and your clothing, I think that feels really nice, especially like the wider sleeves. You can get some airflow in there, wider, like a crop top, wider bottom, get some airflow in there, which is nice when it's hot. But you can still have this gorgeous, structured, expensive looking luxury garment on without feeling hot and without feeling uncomfortable. So I like that. I also tried to add pockets to some of the garments because I know how important pockets are to women. And for me, it definitely takes me over the edge if I'm on the fence of buying something I really like and it's not very functional. It doesn't have pockets. If I find pockets in it, that can definitely take me to the point of being on the fence, being like, yeah, I gotta get this, because not only is this a beautiful garment, it's actually functional, and I can put my hands in there and I can look cool walking down the street, but I can also keep all my crap in my pockets as well. And if they're the size, like men's size pockets, like serious size pockets, even better. That's amazing. I love that. You can keep lots of goodies in your pockets. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to keep seeing updates, please subscribe. If you want to keep seeing updates on my Spring 2020 collection, share this video with any of your designer friends or people that are interested in seeing the development of a full collection, mini collection, capsule collection, a collection nonetheless. Thanks for watching.